Hey everybody, thanks so much for being here for 13 News at 4. Hope you had a good weekend. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence. We're actually going to have more on those headlines in just a moment, plus what Hamilton County is calling an honest mistake.
Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker is on this story today. She learned some cities and towns could see less property tax revenue, and some districts could be forced to rework their budgets. That story ahead also this hour. But we begin with those SNAP benefits for Hoosiers stolen in seconds. Thieves are targeting the government's food assistance program and leaving some families hungry.
So the state says it's happening from card skimming, card cloning, and other similar methods. Jenna Webster joins us now after talking to two women who say they're just out of luck until benefits are reloaded next month. Jenna, this proven to be a real problem.
Oh yeah, and that's what these two women were saying too. So both of these Indianapolis women had their monthly benefits loaded at midnight just the other day on the 13th. But the next day when they went to the grocery store, all that money was gone. Literally, it was stolen within minutes. We're talking around $1,000 for each woman. So in both instances, the hackers spent the money in Philly. In one of the transactions for one of the women, they were also in New Jersey. It was all spent at multiple stores within minutes at 3 in the morning. But here's the thing, as of December last year, FSSA no longer replaces those stolen SNAP benefits.
We've kind of, been struggling, so it's been hard. I have two kids that are special needs, so it was just, it was devastating because I know, how am I going to be able to feed my kids until the next month?
So the state's website says locking your EBT card is really the only way to protect your benefits. It also recommends changing your PIN often. They even say, maybe after each transaction. So the website also says it is working to determine what enhanced card security options are available. Today, I did ask if there are any updates on implementing those, but I have not heard back on that yet.
It's got to be so frustrating. Finally, you get help and it's gone like that. Yeah. How big of a problem is this in our state right now?
So that's the thing. We do know that it is a problem. We don't know the magnitude of it. The state does say it is collecting some data on that, but that has not been published to my knowledge. I asked for it today and had not heard back on that. But both of these women had posted on social media about this and had several people commenting that it's happened to them too.
Wow, it's tough. You need your money. You especially need your grocery money. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jenna. We appreciate it. On to more news now. This afternoon, we're learning more about the man accused of killing young conservative influencer Charlie Kirk last week.
The suspect, also a young man, 22 years old, Tyler Robinson, is expected to face formal charges tomorrow. He's being held in a special housing unit in Utah right now where investigators can keep him under close supervision. Here's the latest.
Vice President J.D. Vance hosting Monday's podcast episode of The Charlie Kirk Show from Washington, paying tribute to his close friend.
The thing is, every single person in this building, we owe something to Charlie.
Several members of Congress and the Trump administration attended a Washington memorial Sunday for the 31-year-old conservative activist who was shot and killed during a college campus event in Utah last week.
He believed in family and freedom, faith and virtue and patriotism.
And now planning is underway for a larger memorial at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona this upcoming Sunday. President Trump and other high-level administration officials are expected to attend, putting security under scrutiny during tense times.
What we're witnessing is the concept of an assassination culture, again, aligning to this normalization of violence.
Amid bipartisan lawmaker concerns about violence, Senate Republicans will be briefed on security by the U.S. Capitol Police and others on Tuesday. Meanwhile, in a highly unusual move, FBI Director Kash Patel revealed new details about the suspect in Kirk's killing in an interview with Fox News Monday.
The suspect wrote a note saying, I have the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and I'm going to take it. That note was written before the shooting.
FBI officials and Justice Department prosecutors typically avoid sharing investigative details before prosecution, fearing it could jeopardize a case. The suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, is slated to appear in state court in Utah on Tuesday. In Washington, I'm Karen Kefa.
Meanwhile, all you have to do is check your social media feed right now to know the divisions in this country seem to have reached a boiling point.
But community leaders from all over the U.S. are soon going to be right here to try and figure out how we can calm things down. It's a civility summit is what it's called. I thought this was really interesting. Matthew Foltz talked to the man who came up with the idea and joined us down to tell us all about it.
Yeah, so really this is, like you guys mentioned, we've been seeing this a lot in It seems like we really need this right now. So the man behind this is Carmel City Councilman Jeff Worrell. He's also launched a nonprofit called Project Civility. So he tells me he's spreading civility in this country. It really starts at the community level, and that we may need it now more than ever. So later this month, hundreds of community leaders from across the country, they'll be right in Carmel for the first ever Civility Summit, an entire weekend to talk about how to make this happen. And Worrell tells me that it's something that can have a lasting impact, not just here in Indy, but across the country.
We've got to get rid of the hate that people are experiencing and feeling, and be calm enough to be able to express what we believe, which is our right, but not want to harm somebody else.
Now, the summit will take place September 26th and 27th in Carmel. It will be open to everyone. Okay. We also know that former Governor Mitch Daniels will be also speaking at that summit on that Friday night. So it'll be pretty good discussions, I'm told, and we do have more information if you'd like to learn to go at WTHR.com.
Yeah, that's been the issue we've seen this before. That's been the issue with cancel culture, is that it stifles any discussion that could happen because everybody's afraid to say anything.
Yeah.
So if there's an opportunity for people to be able to openly talk about something and hopefully listen too.
Yeah. And it may mean
positive.
taking a break from social media.
Yeah.
Cleanse the palate, take a break, take a breath.
Yeah. Remember that, friends? Life before social media.
Barely.
Yeah.
Matthew, thank you so much. Let's move on to the weather on this Monday afternoon.
All right, and we are seeing another beautiful day. I know the weather department is just getting so tired, so bored. What will they do? Whatever will they do?
Never.
I took a couple days off, and before I left, it felt like fall around here. And then got back yesterday.
Yeah.
Woo,
it's pretty hot.
Summer's back.
I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum because I know some people love 90-degree temperatures.
I know. We have to be careful here. The weather is so subjective.
Yeah. We're going to stay right down the middle here. I'm just going to tell you what's going on, and you can decide
there's no
whether...
cancel culture in the weather.
He's so diplomatic.
Open conversation.
I'll let you decide whether you like this or not. Okay. I'm not going to sway you. We do have sunshine, some scattering of clouds, and that is it. Temperatures above average, certainly. And this is what we are expecting today, 85 to near 90. We've got a 90 there in Terre Haute, 90 in Bedford, 86 right now in the Indy airport. And the core of the hot air is just to the west over in Illinois, where we've got low, even some mid 90s. St. Louis at 91, KC 93, but certainly warm enough. Now, our heat compared to, say, the central part of the country, more of a dry heat. We've got an easterly wind. That's a dry wind. And along this axis here, we're seeing some slow-moving thunderstorms, but those are going to stay there. We do have a coastal low that's actually going to move in from the coast, and in the coming days kind of drift back toward the west. It brings us maybe a little bit more cloud cover tomorrow, Wednesday, but not much. And we're not expecting any in terms of rainfall here in central Indiana. Here's the view from our station as we look south down Meridian, where we've got you at 86, dew points in the 50s. That's relatively dry air. That means as we get closer to sunset this evening, or if you're in the shade, it's actually a pretty comfortable feel to the air. But here's your planner for this afternoon. We'll be back into the 70s by as early as 8 o'clock. We'll time out the heat streak and our next chance of rain in the 7-day forecast.